Yes, we are from Christian University in Abeokuta, and from Department of Political Science and International Relations. And every year we take out our students at 300 level for what we call field trip to really get acquainted with the different strategic institutions in other countries of the world. Last year we visited what's it called Cotonou, Benin Republic, and this year we are visiting Ghana. And it's a very nice experience that we have come to Ghana for visitation, because we now have first-hand information. That's a first-hand information about the parliamentary system being run in Ghana, because Nigeria is a bicameral system of legislature, while in Ghana it's a unicameral, because our students never had any prior knowledge or background how things are in Ghana in terms of legislative business. But coming here, we've gained more information and knowledge about the parliamentary system in Ghana. Particularly what is most striking in Ghana is the appointments of ministers into the executive arm of government. Because in Nigeria, there's a clear-cut demarcation of functions or powers between the legislature and the executive. But here in Ghana, it's very surprising to us that we have some of the MPs who are also serving as ministers. So, but one thing that one import that we can have from that is that Ghana has been able to really shrink or reduce this the size of bureaucracy. That rather than having another set of people performing ministerial functions, that the legislators, the MPs, can perform both functions, which reduces or can reduce the cost of governance. And it's something that many other countries can learn from Ghana. But what is also surprising to us is the appointment of speaker, because in Nigeria, appointment of speaker is internal. It is the legislators, the MPs, they have the power to appoint those themselves are the entire principal officers, including the speaker, unlike what we have in Ghana, that the fellow must be appointed by the president. And another thing is that the principal officers, because I am proud to our having access to the parliamentary sitting today. We were informed that here in Ghana, that's the Ghana Parliament, Ghanaian Parliament, that apart from the appointment of speaker by the president, that the parliament is usually controlled by the same party with the president, which is somewhat different from what we have in Nigeria, because in Nigeria we have cases of having the president belonging to another party, while the majority seat being controlled by another party or by the opposition party. And we ask the question that how do we resolve the inter-party conflict in a situation whereby you have the majority being the other party, while the president is another party different from the party that controls the majority in the parliament. But to us, that is another topic for another day, because from what we have gathered, that such has never happened in Ghana. But if it happens in the nearest future, I think Nigeria should be the best place to learn how to resolve this the intergovernmental conflict that may arise from such. Perhaps particularly when the Constitution has clearly stated that it is the president that can appoint the speaker. But another question that we also asked was this issue of sharing, because Nigeria is a country of plurality of ethnic configurations, that we have many ethnic groups. So the same thing is also evident in Ghana, that we have many ethnic groups. But in Nigeria, there's something we call federal character, where the principle of inclusiveness has been engendered in our constitution. It has been included in the constitution, such that there will be no ethnic group that will be left out from having access to not only national resources, but also to take part in governmental affairs. But I don't know if you have such mechanism in Ghana, like we have in Nigeria, and that has been helpful in addressing inter-ethnic conflicts when it comes to the issue of power sharing. That every ethnic group is involved in decision-making processes. But I don't know if that is applicable in Ghana, if there is any mechanism like that that has been entrenched in the constitution to forge this culture of inclusiveness, so that there will be consensus building among various ethnic groups that make up the state of Ghana. And
so if you were to give a recommendation on what you saw today, what would you say?
Yes, because we have many recommendations, because one, to encourage more vibrance in terms of deliberations in the parliament, because there is a popular say which goes thus, that the majority will always have their way, while the minority will always have their say. But in a situation whereby the Speaker of the Parliament is elected by the ESCO, it may be very practically impossible for the minority to even have any say at all, because they would have be subjugated by the majority. This particularly the issue of appointment of ministers. Is there any constitutional provision that that should be a sharing formula between the ruling party and the opposition party? Because now we have many countries for the sake of building peaceful coexistence, not only among the people but also among the various political parties. That the principle of a government of national unity is being entrenched everywhere. Particularly, a good case is Switzerland, where even the opposition party can also become the speaker. So I don't know if, that if you have such mechanism in Ghana, but if there is none, because Ghana is evolved. In fact, it's a young democracy, and it continues to grow from and learn from other countries that have reached this level of maturity. And my advice is that, again, look at this issue of provisions of the Constitution. In fact, it formed the thrust of the argument of the debate of today, because more than 1 hour, almost 2 hours, has been exhausted on this issue of the content of the Constitution. That how do we have a content of the Constitution that has become a subject of debate in the Parliament, and that also instructs the need to really overhaul the provisions of the Constitution, so that the content will not always be a subject of litigation, not only between the executive and the legislature, but between the people and the government. Because if we have a content that will cause debate, it is really important to address such issue.
Okay.
On time.
Thank you.